I want to share with you a dirty little secret. Your first year of motherhood does not have to be a nightmare. And how do I know that? Because I've just finished my first year as a mother, and I've done it by myself as a single mother by choice. I gave birth to my baby at 48. I live in the middle of nowhere. I don't have any family around me. And most people would have said, it's gonna be a nightmare. But it actually has been quite easy. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some really important changes you can make to your mindset and to your attitude, which will ensure that your first year with your baby is a really beautiful and easy experience. Hi everybody, I'm TJ and I'm the mother to a beautiful little 1-year-old baby called Baby Star. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I make videos about motherhood, about being a single mother by choice, about being an older mother, about using donor sperm, donor eggs. Most of my videos live in a private community space that I'm going to be sharing with you all soon. But I do make general videos on this YouTube channel with tips and tricks for your motherhood journey. I want to talk about your attitude, because it's actually your attitude that's going to create your motherhood experience, much more than any circumstances you're in, or any practical strategies, or any help you're getting, or how much money you have, or anything like that. Your attitude trumps all of that. It's the most important thing. So you're a stay-at-home mother. Imagine you're telling yourself this story. Oh, it's so awful. I have to stay at home all day with this baby, and I'm so exhausted all the time, and I don't have any help. And this is the hardest thing I've ever done. And it's just relentless, and I have to look after this baby all day, every day, and I don't get to go and see my friends, and I don't get to go out to movies, and I don't get to go on dates with men, and I've had to give up my career to look after this baby, and I'm so overwhelmed, and I'm doing this all by myself, and it's just so awful, and it's the hardest thing I've ever done, and why did I even do it? And then contrast that with telling yourself this story. I cannot believe I'm getting to spend a whole year looking after a baby. Babies are so beautiful. I've always wanted a baby. I can't believe I finally have a baby, and I'm getting to look after this baby by myself. I'm getting to spend all my time with them. I'm getting to do all the things that people get to do with babies. This baby is so gorgeous. It's fascinating watching this baby develop every day. I honestly could just spend hours watching my baby. She's so fascinating. Literally watching the miracle of life unfolding on a daily basis. I'm getting to have an experience I never ever would have had if I didn't have this baby. I'm so grateful. And if you have to go back to work during this first year, maybe for financial reasons or because your maternity leave runs out, you could be telling yourself this story. Oh my God, this is so awful. I can't stay at home with my baby all day because I have to go to work and provide for her. And I'm so tired all the time because I'm working during the day and I'm staying up at night with my baby. This is the most stressful thing I've ever done, and it's not fair. Some mothers just get to stay at home all day and their husbands pay for it, and I have to go out and work. This is the worst year of my life because I just never have any spare time for myself. I don't have any personal time. I'm just working or I'm looking after a baby. This is so hard. Or you could tell yourself this story. Oh my God, I feel like an absolute boss at this point in my life because I'm rocking it at work, and I get to come home and look after the most adorable baby. I'm so grateful for her because she's really giving my life balance. I feel like I'm a productive member of society during the day in the workforce, and then at night I'm getting to be this loving, creative, soft, nurturing mother, and I feel really balanced in my masculine energy out in the workforce, my feminine energy at home. And I've actually become incredibly efficient because I don't have that much free time. So when I do have free time, I'm laser focused. I get what I have to do done. I'm figuring out ways to get some me time. I'm so empowered. I'm so organized. And I'm so excited because I'm getting to model for my child what it's like to live a balanced life with work life, home life. I just feel so grateful in getting to have this experience. Now, can you hear and feel the difference in those two stories? Now, I've given you two quite extreme examples, but most mothers lie somewhere on this spectrum between these two stories. And I'm really going to encourage you to lean towards the second story in what you're telling yourself, to really focus on the gratitude, focus on the miracle. All babies are miracles. Now, obviously, if you've done a 10-year IVF fertility journey and you've had to use donor sperm and donor eggs, it's an incredibly triple miracle. But if you've just had sex the first time with your husband and you're age 21 and you had a baby, it's still a miracle. All babies are miracles. If you can focus on the miracle that is your baby, you're going to find your experience as a mother is going to be tinged through glasses of gratitude rather than tinged through glasses of missing out and hard done by a victim. And that's just going to make all the difference to your experience. And if you can focus on the amazingness of your baby, how they're changing every day, and they're smiling and then they're laughing and now they're rolling over and now they're starting to pull themselves up and then they're starting to crawl and then they're starting to stand and oh my God, they're walking. And every single stage of that first year is just incredible, the amount your baby is learning. If you can focus on how fascinating it is and how extraordinary it is and focus on the wonder of that, you're going to find your first year so much better. And if you can focus on the things that you're loving about it rather than the things that you're hating about it, you're going to feel so much better. So at 3 a.m, when you're up changing a nappy, instead of going, oh, I can't believe I'm up at 3 a.m, I'm so tired, you'll be like, I can't believe I'm getting to change a nappy. This is so cool. When have I ever got to do this before? And it's so sweet. Look how my baby's looking at me, so much love. And look at this cute little hands. Look at this cute little bum I'm putting a nappy on. Oh, look how it smells. Actually, it smells different than it did yesterday. That's interesting. I wonder if he's eating more solids than he was. I wonder how much milk he's having. And you're just focusing on the interesting things and the fun things rather than the negative things. Because actually, the first year of having a baby is the most amazing, extraordinary, miraculous thing you're ever going to experience in your life. Getting to actually build a bond with another human really, really deeply from the very first second of their life. So I just highly encourage you to enjoy it. And I'd also encourage you to see this time at home with your baby as a time when you get to do new things that you've never done before. You're researching baby products, you're making baby food, you're maybe creating toys for your baby to play with. Maybe you're cuddling a lot more than you ever have. Maybe you're having a lot more skin-on-skin contact while you're breastfeeding and you've never really had that experience before. Maybe you're spending a lot more time with women or with mothers than you ever have before. Maybe you're just being much more playful and laughing a lot more than you normally do because you're interacting with a 6-month-old baby or a 9-month-old baby and they find things funny that adults don't find funny. And even if you're having to work part-time or full-time while you're raising your child, in those times when you're with your baby, you're getting to express parts of yourself that you don't get to do in the workforce. The feminine parts, the soft parts, the loving parts, the cuddly parts, the playful parts, the nurturing parts. So really revel in that, celebrate that, even if you're only doing it for a few hours a day or if you're doing it 24/7, because it's a part of you that you may not have got to embody that much in the earlier parts of your life. And this next attitude shift is one for those of you who are stay-at-home mums, who might be really missing being out in the workforce, who might be missing spending time in your career. Just accept, if you're a stay-at-home mum, accept that this is your job right now. This is what you're doing for this year or this 2 years or however long you've committed to being a stay-at-home mum. This is your job right now. Put your heart into it, your energy into it, your passion into it, just like any other job you would be doing in your career. That could be difficult if you spent your whole life as a career woman, but it actually could be easy because you're used to pouring your passion into something, you're used to being dedicated towards something, you're used to putting all your time and energy into something. You can put your time and energy into this, into being the best mother you can be, the most innovative mother, into having a lot of knowledge as a mother, into researching different parenting approaches, different schools, different products. If you're someone who loves to network, you can network with other mothers. If you're someone who likes to create, you can create things to do with your motherhood journey. But make sure that you think about this time as a stay-at-home mum as your full-time job. And it's a big job and it's a very rewarding job and it's actually the job that makes the most difference on the entire planet. Because as a result of you doing this job, another human is going to grow up, they're going to contribute to society, they're going to do amazing things. And that's because of the job you're doing right now as a stay-at-home mum, setting up the foundation for this child so that this child feels loved, supported, nurtured, understood, secure and stable. And that's the foundation from which an incredible human can grow. So it's the most important job you could do. Even if you're only doing it for a year or two, you're probably going to have more impact in that year or two than in a 30-year career out in the workforce. Another point about attitude, and this one applies to you whether you're a stay-at-home mum or whether you're back in the workforce part-time or full-time during your first year as a mother. Just give yourself to this experience fully. Let go of FOMO. Let go of fear of missing out. Sure, there are other things you could be doing that you're not doing because you're a mum, but you can do those things later. A lot of them you've probably already done before. Just focus on the fact that this is what you're doing now and give your whole heart to it fully, because FOMO will kill your joy. If you're spending the whole time thinking, I wish I was out partying, I wish I was traveling, I wish I was dancing, I wish I was working at my office, but I'm stuck here with the baby, you're going to be miserable. Whereas if you let that go and just 100% embrace, this is what I'm doing now, I'm going to pour all my heart into this, all my joy into this. You're going to feel so much better about it. You're going to be a much better mum. You're going to be a much more present mum. And here's the secret no one tells you. Your child is going to be happier and calmer and much easier to look after. This is the thing. If you're really present for your child is going to grow up securely attached. In psychological terms, that means this child will be independent. They're able to run around the room and play by themselves. They don't need you to look at them every second. They're not clingy. Children from mothers who are very, very present and available and happy to be there tend to be very well adjusted. And for those of you who are working, focus on being really present in those times where you are home and you are with your baby. That can make a huge difference, even if it's only a few hours a day. In the times where you're home, don't think about anything else. Just focus on your baby. The more present you are as a mom, the easier your baby's going to be and the easier year you're going to have in your first year as a mom. The more you're focusing on things outside the home, your work, your friends, social engagement, things you wish you were at, and you're constantly on your phone, the less happy your baby's going to be, the more clingy they're going to become, the more they're going to be pulling on you for your attention, and the more stressful your time as a mother's going to be. So I really, really want you to get this. If you're choosing to be a mom, do it with all your heart. Commit to it fully. Give yourself to it fully. Be 100% present for your child. And I'm telling you, you're going to have such an easy year if you do that. And the final attitude thing I'll say is, if you're someone who had a difficult birth, I really want to encourage you to let go of that. I know a lot of women who are just, I didn't get the birth I wanted a natural home birth, I had a cesarean, and they spend the first 3 or 4 months of their child's life miserable and traumatized about the birth they had. And sure, sometimes it's hard to move past that stuff, but I want to encourage you to do the work that you need to do to let that stuff go, because the birth is 1 or 2 days of your life, maybe 4 or 5 days at the absolute maximum, whereas your child's first year is an entire year, and you could miss out on that amazing year, that wonderful, that wondrous, extraordinary year when your baby goes from not even being able to move all the way through to being able to walk. You're going to miss that if you're focusing on being miserable and annoyed and upset because of the birth you had. So as much as you can, focus on the fact that your child is here, you're here, you both made it through alive, you both somehow got through it, and now you're here and you can start now. Drop all that, let it go and start now, and just appreciate the fact that you've got this beautiful baby to play with and to look after and to love and nourish, and throw yourself into that. And if you need to see a counsellor or need to get some support to work through the grief of the birth not going the way you want to do, then get that, hire that person, go and see that person, but do it straight away. Don't carry that birth trauma with you and talk about it for the whole first year of your baby's life, because you're going to miss out on the magic of the first year. So I really encourage you to let that stuff go as soon as you can. And the same thing I want to say to those of you who've had a very long journey to get to having your baby. Maybe you've done IVF for 5 years or 10 years, you've dated all these different men trying to have a baby, or you've had to let go using your own eggs and use an egg donor, and maybe you've had lots of miscarriages, and maybe it's been a really, really hard, awful road. And if it has, I feel for you. That stuff is hard. It's traumatizing. It's exhausting. It's financially debilitating. But if you've gone through all of that and you now have your baby sitting in front of you, I really invite you and encourage you to do what you can to let that story go. Just let it go and focus on the fact that you have your baby now. You have the miracle of your baby now. And if you have had a hard road to get here, then your baby is an amazing miracle because it almost didn't come. So just focus on, oh my God, my baby's here now. I'm starting from now. And make this day one of your story. That's just the prelude. It's like you've got the Lord of the Rings, you've got the backstory to the Lord of the Rings. But people just want to watch the Lord of the Rings. Focus on the Lord of the Rings, not the backstory.
All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
Really give yourself to this experience of motherhood. Do what you can to let go of the trauma of your fertility journey. If you have to write the whole thing out in a long letter and read it to a few people you love and then burn it, do that. If you have to write a book about it, do that. If you have to see a counsellor, do that. Do whatever you have to do to let that story go, to put it to bed so that you can focus on the miracle and the joy of your new journey as a mother. So I hope you found those attitude tips really helpful. I encourage you to really try and make those mindset shifts. It's going to make your baby journey so much easier. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel because I make lots more videos like this, sharing my tips and tricks about motherhood, about being a single mother by choice, about being an older mother. And make sure to check out this video that YouTube's showing you because it's probably one you're going to find really helpful. I'm sending you so much love, so much baby dust. Bye from me. Bye.